So, I'm having a nerd moment and I thought to review all the books that I've read in 2025. Fact check. Hi, my name is Nancy Isime. I'm a bookworm, and here are the books that got me through 2025. 2025 was such a year. Do you agree? One thing that helped me get by was reading fictional books. When I tell you that I just did not want to deal with the year at all, I wanted to be transported to a world unknown through these books, and that's exactly what I did. So come, let's talk about each of them and let me tell you about them. By the way, guys, I just got this microphone. You're in trouble. I'm going to be doing this a lot. First off is Blessings. Blessings is written by Chukwuebuka Ibe, and it follows the story of a young boy called Obiefuna from when he was conceived to, early life, to adulthood, school, all of that. I find that those in the LGBTQ community will find this book very interesting because it talks about the struggles and just from a perception of someone who is misunderstood by society, unable to come out with his truth, and it's so interesting. I feel like everyone should definitely read Blessings and read it with an open mind, not a judgmental mind. Bookworms don't judge anyway, so yay! Up next is A Broken People's Playlist by Chiemeka Garrix, who happens to be a Port Harcourt boy who was going through a writer's block, and he decided, you know what, let me just put a couple stories together in a book. And when I tell you, this book has everything you need from drama to suspense to comedy, everything. And the stories are so unique and very relatable, especially if you grew up in Port Harcourt or if you had any kind of experience in Port Harcourt. I did. Rumokoro, Choba, Alu, Rumodara. Rumodara. Hey, please, you people don't yab me or don't say which one is Rumodara. Rumodara, yes. Up next, Fireflies on the Lagoon. Oh my goodness. This book is written by Tunde Leye. And when I tell you that this book, you're not even ready for it. If you thought you knew everything about the slave trade era, you should definitely read this because this gives a very unique perspective. So it features everything, even the supernatural comes to play in this book. Up next is Tomorrow I Become a Woman by Odafe. This story, when I tell you, if you're a woman coming of age, already of age, you're going to feel this story deep inside of your bones. The lead character of this book is Obianuju. We follow her story, which is quite sad. She's an only girl, and she had to be married at some point. She wasn't even married off. She actually fell in love, but she sadly fell in love with an abuser. And the story just takes us through the abuse she went through. It takes us through betrayal from even the people close to her, also through loss, grief, drama. There's a bit of comedy there, especially when there's the part with her and her brothers. But yes, not to give too much away, you should definitely read Tomorrow I Become a Woman, especially if you're a woman. Up next is Every Drop of Blood is Red. It follows a story about a girl who was seeking revenge, and then it just takes her through this crazy journey. The person who she was trying to get at, she found out other things about him, and then rapture. And then within rapture, a lot happened. Just go get this book, trust me. You're in for a wild ride. Notable mentions, these books that I got in 2025, but I wasn't able to read them in 2025. But they'll be the first books I read in 2026. Let's talk about them briefly, what I know. This was gotten for me by a very dear friend. She's also a reader. She literally reads one book a day, and she got this for me as part of my birthday gift. And yes, I can't wait to read next year. Any book this friend of mine recommends, I read. In fact, most of the books here were actually recommended and gotten for me by her. And no, you don't know who she is. I did hide this one. I've actually started When We Were Fireflies, but I've not been able to go past, I think, the 5th chapter because I've been so busy, so it's been hard to read anything else aside my scripts. I will just be reading this as well in the first quarter of the year. And I'm sure you've noticed all these books are written by Nigerian authors, and this is because I'm a Nigerian. I can mostly relate to being a Nigerian roads, cities, towns. So when I read, I can immerse myself. I can be like, oh, Jos, and take myself to the hills because I know what it looks like. You know what I mean? When they say Ebute Meta, I know where that is. So it's relatable for me. And so there you have it, guys. The books that got me through 2025. Bookworms, what books got you through 2025? Let's talk. I want to read your books. Come on, recommend some in the comment section. Mwah! See you next time.